Heading into the San Bernardino County Museum. I've never been here before. It is off of the 10 freeway and California in the city of Redlands, I believe. So I love museums. Kind of like to go by myself because then I can take my time. Or if I go with someone, I always feel like I'm rushed because they're bored, whatnot, whatever. But 50 years in Redlands. 50 años en Redlands. All right. Steam Lab now open for kids. I'm a giant kid at heart. Look at these cameras, 100 years old. And now I have a camera in my hand that'll do, that is 1,000 times better than these cameras ever were. History of the camera. Yep, these are the old film cameras. You need a flash bulb. The old 110 Vivitar, I think we all had those. These required film. That's the film. And you had anywhere from, I think, up to 35 photos that you can take, and you didn't know what it would look like until you got it developed. You had to go to a developer to do it. And it would sometimes take up to a week before you got your pictures back. Before video games, this is what we played with. These are landlines. You didn't have the touch tone yet, you had the rotaries. And here's a touch tone. Still attached by a cord, but you could dial much faster. You'd hang this up to get a new dial tone, and then you can call the time, 555-1212, and an automated system would answer. Let's say at the tone, the time will be whatever time it is in 10 seconds. Beep. And here's the old school rotary phones. We call it rotary because you have to put this. So if the number was 213 5 5 5 1 2 1 2, and then you would listen, and it would be over. And my grandmother, they would sell this lock that you put right here, so that you can only dial one. Basically, telephone calls were a little expensive, not like they are now here. First cellular phone, one of the first ones, probably in the 80s, definitely 80s, late 90s, new for 88, 1988. Then you had the flip phones in the 90s. I think I've had every single one of those. And a pager, which preceded the flip phones. So the pager would work. You'd be given a telephone number, and then if somebody wanted to contact you, they dial that number, and you could leave a telephone number, and you would just call that number back. But you'd have to go to a payphone. And then later on, during the evolution of the pager, you were able to send text messages. Irons, the evolution of the iron. They haven't changed too much. This looks like a calculator adding machine. That's how big it was. It got smaller, smaller, and now we have them on our phones. $3,400 for a 10 megabyte hard drive. Thinking machine, figuring out problems. Those are planers. If you wanted to plane wood. And here is the old-fashioned typewriters. So manual. This is where I learned how to type on. The A, Q, and Z were all with pinky, and they were always light because there'd be an ink ribbon that went right here. And every time you struck it, the ribbon would move over a little bit. But depending on how hard you hit the thing, it would determine how dark the type would be. So since the pinky fingers are usually the weakest, those letters would be the lightest. The evolution of the typewriter. Pretty crazy. And they call this the QWERTY keyboard because if you look at the top letter, the top row of the first 6 letters, it spells out QWERTY, QWERTY, QWERTY keyboard. Way before my time, but this is what they used to listen. You used to listen to music. They record the music or whatever there, and then you put it on there and play it. It's incredible how technology. Look at the phonograph, 1911. That's what we had 123 years ago, and that was state of the art. Now we have portable speakers that are probably 1,000 times louder than what those things were. These are the record players, vinyl. And here is one of the first electric typewriters. The electric typewriters, they would have these things that would rotate and spin and pick the letter that you're, or the character that you're doing. Carbon paper for $2.25, it looks like. Carbon paper is, it's another piece of paper that had kind of ink on the side of it, and you put it in between 2 pieces of paper. On the top, you'd write on it, and then it would transfer whatever you're writing or drawing, whatever, onto the second page. television. Here are some of the animals, birds of our region. A great bald eagle. Look at that thing. Harris's hawk. Common raven. I think they also call them crows. Beaks and picos. The golden eagle. I think that's the eagle of the Philippines. Still a bit smaller than the bald eagle. Roadrunner. The feet of such creatures, patas. Osprey. Vulture, turkey vulture. Does it really have that hole in its nose? Red-tailed hawk. Barn owl. Prairie falcon. Yeah, I think these birds that feed on other birds, they have the same beak. Red-tailed hawk. Look at that beak. Great horned owl. Ooh. Glossy snake. Gila monster. Looks like a snake there, but Great Plains rattlesnake. Look at these poor birds. is the Mojave green rattlesnake. Here's some of the animals, the coyotes that we have in our AC. Walking around. Mule deer. We don't see them too much here, but by my sister's house or up in the mountains. These coyotes pretty much leave you alone. But they have been known to attack dogs even when humans are walking with them. Black bear does not look black, it looks brown. Bison. Look at this guy. Looks like he's still looking at you. Coach whip. Oh, king snake. I think that might be poisonous, venomous. Mountain lions, look at those paws. Oh my God. Imagine if you encountered one of those while you're hiking in the mountains. Yeah, that'd be scary. They have been known to attack humans. And your bighorn sheep. I've seen every creature here except for the sheep. Maybe the bison too. No, I've seen a bison. Not here, but in Southern California. And here are two animals that you do not want to encounter. The grizzly bear. This is a baby bear. Baby grizzly bear. Between 400 and 1,500 pounds. And then the wolf, the gray wolf, 145 pounds. But they are vicious. They travel in packs and they will kill humans. And pretty much any domestic dog they will kill. Pronghorn. When an animal is extinct, it means there are no longer any living individuals of that kind left on Earth. Many species, though not instinct, have disappeared from large parts of the historical range. When a species no longer exists in areas once inhabited, it's called local extinction or extirpation. The species in this display have been extirpated from most parts of California. Really? I don't know about that. Anywho. And with all this technology that eventually becomes obsolete, we have a problem with e-waste. What do you do with all this stuff? It's hard to recycle, so a lot of this stuff just goes into a dump. You can't give these TVs away anymore. Even this TV will be difficult to give away. One of the first editions are like the flat screen HD TVs. Because they're so cheap nowadays. Imagine looking up and seeing these guys looking at you. A hairy mammoth. We'll go down there, check it out. Paleozoic era. Skeleton, or a likeliness of what a skeleton looks like, of the smallest giant ground sloth. Smallest giant. Shasta ground sloth, look how big it was compared to a human. Now sloths are about the size of a medium dog, small to medium dog. Dolphin tail. Mastodons. There's his trunk. Mastodons. Big footprints. Let's see. So mastodon, very hairy. Side curved, short hair, pointed cusp for crunching branches. 5 to 7 tons. And there's the mammoth. Huge. 13 feet tall. Tall and domed. Here's the difference here. why they call mammoths and mastodon. Gamble there. So imagine that thing, except bigger. Theropod dinosaurs. So after talking to that guy and why there are not a lot of dinosaurs, why there are not a lot of dinosaur fossils in California is because during that time California was underwater. It was an ocean. So didn't really see a lot of them. Ammonoid. There's a glass there. Oh, there's a glass there. There's a Mimia Pisces. Where do you go? Oh, that guy there? Dipterus. And I can't see this guy. The Diplocanthus. I don't see anything lit up. Pteraspis. The Campbellidus. Polybranchiapius. Caiapus. Alright, there's too many. I would not be surprised if a lot of these still existed. These deeper into the ocean. East Monastius. Grangalopus. That's an adult. That's an adult. Evolution. Rise of the tetrapods.
Ya ves que ayer sale de trabajar y se pone a cocinar y se le tomaron bastante. Vente para acá. Mire, con más terremotos,
Modern world.
se mueven las diferentes. Sí.
this fit together nicely. How do we know? How do we know that this is what it looks like? 51,000 kilometers to the inner core. It's a good thing it says not to scale. But we can't even get past the crust, which is anywhere from 0 to 100 kilometers thick. 100 kilometers, 50 something feet. Not miles. Philippine plate. I think that's it. Journey through time. I think this is my favorite part about the museum is the Hall of History. Actual humans. Maybe because the millions of years is too hard for me to grasp. Like this. These are people's grandparents. Boat riding in San Bernardino Mountains. Maybe that's Big Bear. Packing house in Bloomington. Preparing for an auto race near Casa Loma Hotel. Apple Valley Inn, Turnpole. San Bernardino Crawlettes baseball team in 1952. Look at the dog. Cherry Valley 1900s, circa 1900s. All dressed up. Linen suits or cotton or whatever. Big Bear Village. Looks like 50s, maybe. The day World War II ended. Celebrating in the streets of San Bernardino. Sedano family from San Manuel Reservation. basket making. Landmark Arrowhead. In-N-Out. First Southern California drive-through In-N-Out, 1948. And the first McDonald's, they opened up the same time. 1950s, the economy was booming, suburban areas expanded, technology continued to advance, and the entertainment industry was bustling. Highway torch. It's like a flare. Nice pickup truck. That's how you used to start a car. Everything's come a long way. Colton Fire Department. Pulled by horses. First. When the Transcontinental Railroad was completed in 1869, it connected the eastern United States to western states and territories, opening up vast areas to settlement and economic development. Before the railroad, it took 6 months and $1,000 to travel between New York and California. $1,000 150 years ago. It was like $1 million. Maybe not, but 100,000. After the railroad was completed, it took 1 week and cost $150. By 1880, passenger trains were a popular way to travel across the country, especially in California, where depots were built. So even in the 1869, when the railroad was complete, it would still take you a week to get from New York to California, and would cost $150. Now, we can fly from New York to California nonstop, probably 5 hours. Of course, we're up in the air, and it probably costs, depending on when, it could cost a pretty penny. But crazy how technology is. But yeah, this covered wagon here, how people would travel. That does not look comfortable at all. But back then it probably was. What other options you had? Did you have sitting on one of those things? On a horse? For months on end? Crazy. Outside the museum now. This is the native plant garden out here. Pretty cool. Nice warm day outside. I guess if you're like a botanist or was into plants, this would be a spot for you. Turn around here. There is a wedding of the Mexicans. Let's see if I can turn. I had to stop it again. But wedding of the Mexicans. As far as I can remember, when I was a kid, and there would be a family wedding, we would decorate our cars with paper roses. All the cars. They don't do that so much anymore. But as soon as I get to this place, you'll see I kind of want to invite myself over, but I'm not dressed. All these vintage cars. And that start over again. But as you can see, you only get a few. But there are a bunch of these, and there's a party over there. Outside party. But like I was saying, we would decorate our cars with the flowers, and that's how you knew that there was a wedding. And from the church to wherever the reception was, we'd be driving in a procession and honking our horns, letting everyone know that another one bit the dust. So this museum here has been here for 50 years, probably more than 50 years, but it says 50 years. Yeah, I think this actually new museum. And they have these big old barge boards and boxes for lumbering. Come here and have a picnic. Probably rent it out too, this little gazebo type thing. And other machinery for lumbering, I would imagine. Let's check it out. Mining and lumbering. Those were hard days. Strong man, made for easy times. You can dig it. Yeah, this is for mining. All this heavy machinery. They're about to close. It's 4:20 or so. They close at 5 o'clock, so. And they have the Southern Pacific. There's a locomotive and a couple cars. That's probably for the coal, where they kept all this fuel to power this thing. I could be talking out of my ass because I don't know anything. Let's take a look. You can smell it. Vanderbilt tender 8490, built in 1910 and added to the engine in 1912 when it's converted to use coal instead of oil for fuel. It's converted to use coal, so that thing was for coal. Together they were 38 feet long and weighed approximately 96 tons. And this looks like a passenger car, or probably luggage, whatnot. Y'all know what this is? It's a target for when you shoot your gun. It's not, but it looks like it. Here's a family here having a nice luncheon, a dinner, picnic. Alrighty, good times. Like I said, I love museums. You get to learn a lot. So, I always wanted to come here. I haven't been here, I don't think ever. But it's cool, and they change all the time. So, probably next year they'll have different artifacts. But, all right. Peace. All right, everybody. That was the tour. Look at this big thingamabob, whatchamacallit. And all this cactus. Of course, we live in a desert, so drought-resistant plants. Yep. All right, my friends. You have a great day. Talk to you soon.